The 3 things you need to do to boost and keep your confidence in English are: 1. Keep a positive attitude about English. 2. Practice using English every day. And 3. Read more. Let's discuss.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right. Thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 693. Confidence? You got this. In this podcast English lesson, I'm going to show you 3 reasons you don't feel confident using English and 3 things you can do to get more confident. First of all, you gotta stop saying that you don't have confidence using English. Everything that you say, your brain hears and believes to be true. And then those thoughts can affect or influence what happens. Think about that for a minute. Psychologists call that a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's say, for example, you have a job interview. If you walk into that interview thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get nervous. Oh, I'm going to mess up," guess what's going to happen? You're probably going to get nervous and mess up. Because you told your brain that you decided you were going to get nervous and mess up. And your brain said, "Oh, okay, if that's what you want, I'll help you do that." Your brain is a good listener, isn't it? Regardless of whether you give your brain negative messages or positive messages, your brain is always available to help you out to reach your goals. When you believe something strongly, it can influence your behavior and actions in a way that makes that belief come true, whether it's positive or negative. That's the self-fulfilling prophecy. So, think positive when it comes to using English. If you believe you can succeed in learning English and you approach your learning with determination, you're going to be more likely to put in the effort that you need to improve, which can lead to better language skills and, guess what? A higher level of confidence. The next idea has to do with practice. Recently, I've noticed that some English learners tell me that they study a lot, but that they are not improving as much as they thought they would. The more you study, the more you improve, right? Maybe not. That's because studying is more of a passive activity compared to actually using it. Practicing and using your English is one of the most effective ways to improve your confidence. Confidence often comes from familiarity and experience. I'll say that again. Confidence often comes from familiarity and experience. Here's how it works. Did you know? Practice builds proficiency. If you want to be better at kicking a soccer ball or playing a song on the piano, you need practice. You need to develop that muscle memory so that you can become proficient at kicking a soccer ball or playing the piano. And it's the same with English. The more you practice speaking and the more you use English, the more proficient you will become, and as you get better at it, your confidence will grow. One way to practice English is with shadowing, and I've got just the thing to help you do that. It's the All Ears English Podcast. This award-winning podcast is downloaded 8 million times a month. Wow! And there, you can hang out with my friends Lindsay, Michelle, and Aubrey and try shadowing their lovely voices. They have fun, energetic, and natural English conversations about a variety of topics. Recently, in episode 2085, they talk about grammar and politeness. And in episode 2082, they show you how to respond with personality in English. With 4 new episodes a week, there's always something good cooking there. So, you totally won't want to miss one episode of the All Ears English podcast. All you have to do is open your search bar, type in All Ears English, and hit follow. And if you find yourself in a situation where there's nobody around you that you can practice speaking with, then you're going to have to be creative and practice with yourself. That could be by reading something out loud, narrating your day with your voice, or chatting using text messaging with someone. And if none of those are an option for you, then set yourself up with a free account with ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT that you would like it to be your English conversation partner and start having conversations with your new AI partner. And here's the third point. Have you ever found yourself in front of a basketball net and you throw the ball but it doesn't go in the basket? Have you ever tried to cook something and it burned? Have you ever tried to go somewhere new and gotten lost? Mistakes like these are part of life, right? If you get lost, are you never going to go out of your house again? If you burn something in the kitchen, are you never going to cook again? Mistakes are also part of the learning process when you're trying to conquer a second language. You need to look at mistakes as opportunities for growth. Remember, your last mistake is your best teacher, and when you can learn from your mistakes, you'll become more confident in your ability to use English. And speaking of practice and building up your skills, one of the things that you definitely need to build up in order to improve your confidence is your vocabulary. Have you ever found yourself in an English conversation getting stuck because you didn't have the vocabulary to either understand what someone else has said or to express yourself the way you want to? I can tell you from my own experience with my second language that it's happened to me, and it happens all the time. That's why these days I am driven to improve my vocabulary in my second language, which is Japanese. Having a limited vocabulary can make you feel less confident when you want to express yourself. How do you increase your vocabulary? You gotta read, my friend. You gotta read. Oh, but Michael, I'm not interested in reading, and I don't like reading, and I don't even read in my own native language. Yeah. I've heard that all before, and I've even heard myself say that. But the reality is, you need to read more, and that's how you're going to build your vocabulary. Reading is a super essential part of keeping your English vocabulary alive. Reading is the best review of all the vocabulary you've ever learned, whether that's words you often use or words that you hardly ever use. Plus, reading is a great way to pick up new vocabulary in context, because as you know, context is king, and context is the best teacher for vocabulary. So, let's sum up. The 3 things you need to do to boost your confidence in English and to keep yourself confident in English are: keep a positive attitude about English, practice using English every day and not just studying it, and read more. Read. Keep in mind, if you'd like to get more practice using your English, why don't you join my podcast Learners Study Group? There, you can build your confidence while you make new international friends, Join me for live group coaching every week, plus get the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast lesson 693. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast is brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.